Foundation for what's very important to me in the practice is to feel comfortable. This time we will go from underneath, but a few reminders are calling for us that we have a circle of gravity that we are working in. And mostly we never use muscular energy, but we want to shift the weight. Instead of doing, we want to receive. And when we practice from underneath, the same principle are used. We are not using any muscular energy to receive the gravity like I'm doing now. So the principles are simple, is perfect fit and stability, and be progressive in your leaning. And it will be true also when you receive the weight. So be progressive in your practice and shift the weight without using muscular energy. This is a very basic principle, but very crucial. Also when we practice upside down. So I don't want you to do this practice, but to start to use your imagination also with me while I'm demonstrating things, and how to actually approach the body. I like to feel the sacrum area. I can do that with my foot, or sometimes I can do and practice. I will try to make this and practice contact with the sacrum, and maybe just stay here. And in this positioning, I try to have a perfect fit, so I adjust my hands, and now they are made for each other, same size, same shape. And I can start a very slow receiving a weight on my hands with no movement. I bring the hands slightly up and slide my hands. This. And if I want to approach the spine, slowly from a very simple technique, we can start across the legs. And from this positioning, I can shift my weight on the right hand side and try to hook the sacroiliac joint, and same in the opposite side. So if you don't know where it is, it's where the bones are and slightly behind. And by doing these techniques, I will bring my fingers in. So most of you did Thai massage, you might probably know where it is. And I will stay here and using what we will do in the afternoon, and that's important, is the fulcrum. So you see my hands? They can be either with the wrist totally flexed like this, or on the metatarsus, the back of the hand, or I can put my fingers and then use only this hook. So there are three positions, one very high, like a lotus flower, one flat back of the hands, straight up, and one, maybe can you do that in the air, like a lotus flower? And then we actually have a bouquet of flower, we have also this one. And this is, we will use this practice, and also this one. So all this to receive the spine and the energy lines of the back, we will be using these techniques. We can also do this to receive the head. Moving, I receive the sacroiliac, and I move a little bit, and then I will try to find really a position where my fingers are alert, not tense and not too soft. And I can also feel as a beginning of my practice, I can also feel along the line of the spine, the line 1, I can also feel in a more moving practice, moving a little bit more moving from side to side, to slide my fingers and appreciate the tension here or the mobility or the lack of movement or anything that calls me. And then I can come back to the very, very precious technique along the sacroiliac joint, if you can feel it. To set up the practice, maybe one technique to start with, practicing here, where the big trochanter is, if you don't know, on the bone, like this, and the flat foot connect with Sonia, and here I come from there, and I will bring my heel, and I will lift the back of the truck in this position. Keep my foot relaxed. I know she's very relaxed. Some people engage here, so you need to be aware of it and come back to a position like this. And all the energy flow, I should feel big release going up and down on this technique. It's very simple and very powerful. I touch her nicely. I use the heel at the back of the trochanter. I keep my foot relaxed. And if it's not enough, because she's very flexible, I move until the twist go into the upper body and connect with all the fascia system and the elasticity of the tissue. So what happens when you give a fixed point or pivot like this in the body? What happens oftentimes is that very nice release. You can repeat that a few times. The fascia are moving and lemniscate all the time. And when you give them a fixed point like this, you can imagine like a snake around a stick of wood. Find a snake and put your wood, and then the snake starts to kind of wrap itself around. And it's not exactly what happened, but oftentimes it's like what's happened locally when you have a blockage or lack of movement. Make a fixed point, and then the body try to find a way out in some other words. Making the energy flow by rocking as a transition movement. In this practice, we can do more rocking, like some of you saw yesterday. Today we use it really to make the energy flow like a wave, and then come back to more stillness. Another example that we can use this technique is to slightly move my body on the side. And then I can approach the floating ribs and the kidney area by making a fixed point here. And that's the principle we're going to use in the afternoon. And then use this very simple but very efficient release here. So we need a bit of practice with the foot. It will take time for some of you. But here, because the body is totally relaxed, I can really receive the weight of Sonia. Or you can't do that for anyone. Here will be too high. It's really for the floating rib that this technique is very interesting and very safe. So now I'm moving, but then I will choose and I will stay here for some time. So how long would be 10-15 seconds? You stay there. So I can observe sometimes that the breath is changing. Practicing close to the attachment of the diaphragm or leaving some mobility here in the thoracolumbar area. And again, I will send a little movement. I keep contact, that's a little principle I like to use sometimes. I show you another setting up that we can use for the upper arm. I'm sure she's relaxed. I maybe hold her like this. And what I would like to use again here is the gravity. So in the first, when something looks very simple, it's always something a little bit more complicated hidden inside. And in this technique, we don't like this practice. Oh, and then I will move myself and use the top of my foot to receive the shoulders. First rib, shoulders, I go as far as I can. So very gently I pull up using my body weight, not the force. And when I'm here, I'm very ambitious. I go as far as possible. And then I receive Sonia on the junction. So because she's flexible, I'm trying to find a point of resistance a bit more interesting like here. And then I will use this simple movement. So she feels a little bit squeezed. This is not enough. I will make a little bit more pressure, and now I can practice. So I go in and out here on the, I don't know if you see. So I like to start sometimes the practice with a simple movement. It might be very efficient. So compressing the spine on C7, T1, first rib, and bringing the area down. So I will repeat this very two simple movement to set up and the pelvic girdle and facing no angle from the side, touching with perfect fit. I slide my hip along the floor almost, and I want to come from front. If the people engage, I need to see it. You can repeat very perfectly. Feeling here that it's like a rope, it's like an elastic that you tense until a point of resistance. And that's what you're looking for. Very often, immediately when you are here, the breath change. Relax. I will repeat a little bit closer. So you move like this, and then make your hands back, and then you just push slowly until this point of resistance. The movement travels to the spine. Make the energy flow. Simple, but not so simple. I'll show you now, so this technique is just to open the hips and release the fascia on the side, and approaching the inertial system on the side of the legs and the trunk. And the same for moving the capillary area, actually just moving gently on the legs, like fixed point with your arm, and lift with no force. Try to feel the point of resistance. When you have it, make an angle, like 45 degrees, and bring this foot, relax your foot there, and let the body go on yourself. And many people, this will be too much on the and I really have to go close to her. And I'm sure she's relaxed by shaking her. And here I just move forward. And I like to drop the arms to have more weight. I would like to show you now how to approach the spine from the head here, and to approach the lumbar and the sacrum, the lumbar, the thoracic, and all the chakras basically from onwards. I'm sure this is an demonstration. You have questions so far?
Do you flex the toes under the leg?
Okay, very good question. Actually, there is many different techniques. Some of you will learn the fish or all these techniques where you use like doing the fish in yoga. Okay, basically I will show it, but you use then the foot like this. So some of you don't have the flexibility here. Sometimes it can be a little bit hurting if you don't have 90-degree angle or more. But it's a very good technique. Keep your foot together, and you practice on line 1 and 2. Quite easy. This technique I would like to show you is a little bit different, that we will bring some movement in the spine. Here you can only receive. And that's what we do today, receiving different fish on different chakras. So we can put the foot down there and at different level until the fourth and third chakra. Third, fourth, 5 chakra. That's it. And today I would like to present a way to receive the spine with the curve that we have here. So this can marry my foot a bit curvy, but this can marry perfectly the spine. So you can put your foot under in the lumbar area, and you can put your foot in different space. And it's like using a foot, or this foot can be also an alternative movement. So because of this, you can alternate and reach the ribs and the thorax from there. So you will not see my foot. So what's going to happen is this. I will receive Sonia spine here. and her head will be here. And the technique here is quite brilliant because of the weight we receive the lumbar area here, and because of the position of this very small movement, it will bring into my foot enough of an extension. And here I can reach the fascia system for the foot is very thick here, and then give a little extension into the lumbar spine. So you can get closer to the sacrum, if the sacrum is there, and then I can start this technique here. And you really feel with some practice that you can actually open in extension the lumbar area, which is suffering from compression. So it's quite precious. And then you can give some release like this, slide to another level, and practice vertebra per vertebra. It's quite incredible because you can actually, when the ribs come, T12, mid-body, and the diaphragm is there, then you can articulate the epines and basically approach the spine very well just using the weight. Okay? So I show you a little step of what we can do from underneath like this. To sit, to have somebody to sit, they are very heavy. If you lift them, it will be very difficult. So what we do, we bring the head into this super flexible, but still it will work. I hold her head from here, and I bring one hand between the scapula. And if you go slow, it will be difficult, but if I'm fast enough, I can really reach her easily. If the people help you, you shake them like this, they relax. And that's the key now, where to put the foot and how to deal with the t-shirts. So take your pants away on this, it's alright. Sometimes they are on the way. Most of the time your t-shirt will be on the way, I prefer to share with you. So bring the t-shirt a little bit out of the game from this technique, because then you will be trapped. And then I keep my knees together and I make a nice little first-class armchair for her. I remember that's quite important. Here, we do rotation, we keep a lot of resistance and fear, and sometimes this only movement is enough. So nothing is done, although she has the oxygen on my perfect like kind of setting, very good for shampoo. And the key would be this very little movement is our screwdriver. Because of this little movement, I can now, if I lift my foot, can you see the belly following and everything? So if I lift my foot, now I'm on the fascia system and muscles, and I go a little bit higher, and I go back like this. And you create a leverage that opens all the lumbar area. I still have two hands. She's nice here. I support her. It's a fixed point too, quite nice. And I don't want too much extension. The very nice thing is I will be able to open my knees and play also with this now or later. So if it's too much for her, I can also support her like this. But my focus now is not to go too fast, and I really want to reach with my toes relaxed. It's a bit tricky. If you reach your toes up, you will hurt the person. You need to bring them really relaxed. And then I'm moving up and down. I'm looking for a position where my screwdriver is like kind of like, oh, okay, now. And I will stay. If it's too much for me, I can relax a little bit. And then we also have the possibility to bring a little bit of side bending in the lumbar area. Not much. But the good thing is we are in traction. No, I'm not. No, I'm in traction. It's like in boat ski or something. I'm suspended. Yeah, I can do that. And I can also use my foot slightly alternating. It's not so efficient in the lumbar area, big vertebra, strong here. I can bring a little bit of movement, but it's not so comfortable. So to go up, I leave some space, slide a little bit, go up again, mid-lumbar area. I do my screwdriver or extend it. So she feels big traction in the lumbar, isn't it, Sonia? So it's a very simple release. I don't do much myself. That's the secret of this technique. And I can go maybe to L2, L1. I can start to feel the ribs with the top of my foot. And here, just to show you, if I do alternative paddling like this in the spine, it's quite interesting. Go a little bit higher, Manipura chakra, and then if I go a little bit higher for sacra here, and start to have a very nice possibility. to hold Sonia from the occiput and from here. More mobility inside bending is easier. I use more weight. I keep my foot together. Don't open the foot, you will have... and now my chin bone, they are actually pushing so I start to have these techniques where I push here. Like this. So this is beautiful. If you guys have a bit of practice, you will understand immediately what I'm talking about. You can actually really holding the head, actually doing more than the foot. The chin bone here is actually massaging, and sometimes I will come and stay there. It would be like now on one side with my chin pushing forward. Please don't bring the whole body in extension, even if you have flexible hip. Keep this head almost in line or slightly extended. So about the fish, the question you asked before, that would be now that I would choose to make a fish, because but I have an extension, my foot is not. Yeah. I can do it here, keep some space with you. I can do it here just simply by receiving my shoulder here. And I can practice, keep your fingers open in this technique. I can practice on the long points here in a very new way, where I receive the back of the shoulder, bring the shoulder forward. Just to go out of this posture, you can do that on the other side. See that I'm using my knee, that is pushing my elbow, that is pushing my hands. So, thoracic area, first ribs, I keep my fingers open and I lean a little bit, and I can choose, like now, to have a 10 or 15 seconds of pressure. I'm here on the subclavicular muscle, like under the clavicular. And I don't want to do this class without talking about this fish. I will show you one, the precious one, and how to get there. My foot at the end of this practice will be this way. My knee can be slightly bent. And I will receive the spine. They need to be together. Again, I remind you how to go there. Go to the point of resistance here. No more, but really reach the point of resistance where the shoulders start to lift. And then bring your hands at the really bottom of the neck, and not too fast, but quiet, not slow. Lift up, it's easy. And then bring the foot together, and then heels together, and then I receive. So yeah. So this is a very interesting opening of Anahata chakra, fourth chakra here, the rib cage and sternum. And it's always interesting to have. By breathing in this direction, I still have one hand here, and that's a simple touch, like almost like a paper leaf. Very simple. And you don't do nothing. Don't try to move too much from this, and if you slide or if it escapes from you, better to lift her to the bones. This can be done with this part, it's quite easy, or this can be done like I showed you before, with a fixed point on the back of the hands. And then the fingers touching each other like this. From there, you can do this movement, and that's what we practice in the Thai massage and Thai specifically, working on the lines close to the spine, but also on all the fascia and muscular system close to the spinal process. So your fingers need to be not too soft and not too hard. You will start C7, T1, T2, as far as you can go. Then you will bring your fingers like this and really bring the back of the hands together. You can either stay, which is a very good idea, or slightly let it slide. Slide my fingers. Bring my fingers together, or like this. It's very efficient for neck pain, headache, shoulder pain. So you really use the back of your hand to push the floor. Flexion of the hip. But mostly what we are looking for is the release of the fascia on the opposite side, and the iliopsoas, all this opening that the gravity is making. So my hands are actually not doing much. So there's a split here in this position. With a bit of experience, I can see that my knee underneath can be in different position in the lower area right now. So bring our weight. You can also use movement like this. Open, take on another area. You can make a fixed point on the thoracic area here and do the same. Maybe decide to stay. So you need to keep your knees together in this process. Sometimes I will stay way more than that in one position. Especially with journey like this, when we reach the nuclear system, it would be precious to leave them there for a while. Here, my hand, and it's like wrapping around. And here, I do the same. I be careful with the arm. I can bring it before. Large contact all the time, and then in one go you will roll down like this. Some of you did that before. If I do this slightly adjustment, I open all this bar using the gravity to support her like a table. So here you either can stretch more, but I really encourage you not to do too much, but just to leave the elasticity of the fascia going forward. Some people, most of the people will keep their leg up like this, and when you bring them there, you just have to do like this, and then they understand and relax the whole system. Of course, it's not allowed to move. If you have this beautiful grip like this, take from here and my hands here, I can, with a lot of contact, I can open a little bit the longer area. But mostly what I'm doing is pushing the opposite floating ribs and curving the opposite side. Not so much stretching this side, curving this side. And the secret is to do it enough so that she completely let go. So the setting up of this one quickly, and she has a pillow, and then just one finger she will go on the side position. And then here, make the knees slide 90 degrees angle, make the knees slide as much as you can. Time aside for a lot of preparation like this. And here, fist, go inside. Yeah, I show it from underneath, or fist from there, and one hand down, push your knees together, and bring her leg under your chin. Yeah? Be sure she's not escaping, it will be difficult, and you can lock with your armpit, so you have a nice grip, and open the opposite side again. In the practice of osteopathy, we use table, and the table, we do a lot of technique with the legs outside like this to stretch the iliopsoas. So it's very similar what we do there, in a very gentle way. because there's lots of acroyoga here. We have this kind of game. And super flexible people, you have to find solution. And that's why these techniques get fun, because they get creative. Here, she's so extended, she's so flexible. I will try to make it not her something like this. I get her now. And maybe different if it would be somebody else. Okay? So that's the creativity about here. We use lock and system, and then you can make it like just it's smiling, but some space. Okay? So that would not be possible if it's not a acroyoga, super flexible system. Okay. So you understand the practice. I would like you to jump in now and follow me in these techniques. One last one. Front position I really like. We can do also technique like this on the sternum area. I use my hands and I will go into sense manner. I will reach the sternum from here. Because when we practice in sternum, we are very, very light, not so interesting. And here we can slide the hand and reach the sternum on both sides. And I use the cobra system. And I can receive. Opening, slide your hand and bring them like this. Back of the fingers together, don't have to do anything, just receive the sternum. So this is very strong technique now, like this. So you can cover the whole sacrum like this. In and out, so I start, don't press into the throat, stop where the sternum is, that would be really too much. And if you need to adjust, bring the wrist very close and high, and like this. Some people, like my sister Kalin, she likes to use the foot like this. I feel comfortable to receive like this. You can go until the xiphoid, the lower part of the sternum, without touching the nipples. Okay?
So you question that the neck is not in danger?
Well, because we move in and out, it's not so much, it's just for a short time. So we will be okay. Usually let the people turn the neck the way they turn, it's the way they